The views and opinions expressed by the guest author or speaker during this live session are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Reader's Magnet. The content shared is for informational purposes only and does not constitute endorsement or promotion of any particular belief, ideology, or product.
Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Reader's Magnet featured author interview, where we dive deep into the world of creativity and inspiration. And our guest for today is the author of the book, Beautiful Moon. So please help me welcome Ms. Maria Alice Silva-Amey. So, Maria, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. First of all, I really appreciate your time. I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I'm very happy to talk about my beautiful moon.
Oh, love that. And the title really wraps up the idea of me talking about my beautiful moon and your beautiful moon. So, talking more about your beautiful moon here, Maria. So, can you please tell us and all of our viewers, what is this book all about?
This book is basically about a young lady called Laura Alberina. She started grow up with a very kind of difficult family, and by herself to kind of don't tell the truth about what happened with her. And then she was basically kind of live her life for a long time as a silence to not spoke the truth. And then plus her family was very complicated. And then finally she find a boyfriend and then it's more complicated than her. And then it was
Okay.
crazy situation. The Beautiful Moon, when I started to writing, I did a short story back in Brazil, years ago in Brazil, because I like to writing. And then I did the short story. Then it's come out good, but I was not happy with the end because at the time I don't know how to make Laurie strong and fix a little bit Francisco in her life, and then I stopped it. I say, okay, that gonna be as a short story. And then then after years, when I started to do my master program in counseling, I was able to put myself on the self-generation, back to my story and my family. Then I found so many things, and I was very kind of sad and at the same time very upset and then in shock. And then we know how going on in your own family, then they don't tell you. And then I finished my program. I finished this project in the school, and turned out beautiful, helping me a lot to understand my family background and understand myself. And the way I did the paper, I feel myself more strong. I define myself better. I was helped to understand my family, especially my ancestors. And then after I finished, it was good. It was painful, but I at least helped me. And then I say, oh, I can find it, go back to Laura, short story, and then I see if I can bring her the same joy than I have when I did my paper for my school. And then that's why I bring Laura also in her seventh generation. She enjoyed and was painful also because when you try to understand go back to your grandparents and your family, you find so many things. And to Laura, her family, they family all compare her with her great grandparents, and sometimes was a bad things, as are no. Sometimes something happened, people say, oh, you look like your great parents, and your father was like that. And then it was not a good comparison. Sometimes it's good, but for her situation, was all the negative sides compared to something. And then was kind of bring her enjoy the life to go back, and then she find a lot of stuff, but she was helped to kind of break her silence through the reading. You see that she holds a very dark silence situation help with her on the past. and then bring her history with her family, making her to be strong. And finally, one day she was able to break the silence.
Mm.
Then in the book also I show a lot landscape from Brazil,
Oh.
back and forth. She was able to kind of visit the place. Then her grandfather was talk about it for to her father, because she was not able to, of course, meet her sixth generation, but she tried to kind of find as much a sense how where she's belong.
Okay. Love that. And Maria, what I'm hearing right now, especially coming from the main character Lara, it seems like it really has this personal touch. That has it's more of like also a part of your experience. So if I just like to ask you, like, how does your personal experiences help you shape this book then?
Like I say, when I have to do my paper and my master program, I have to go by back myself on the seventh
Mm,
generation,
right.
and I call my old sisters, my aunts, my uncle, and I visit my family, by my father's side, by my mother's side, and I try to go deep
Mm-hmm.
as much I could to do the very good paper, and
Mm-hmm.
to be able to connect some points in my real life to
Mm-hmm.
Laura and give her also, I hope, to live. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I see I can put it a little bit personal for my my own life, and Laura, that way she can live and find a way to break the conflict and also break the silence that have been bother her for so many years. And then also I bring Francisco, because remember on the short
Right.
story I could not put Francisco because it was funny, because Francisco was kind of, I put Francisco as my real boyfriend, then did
Oh,
not
okay.
work it. Then I have to
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, I stop it. He's a complicated. And then, anyway, he disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
But bring Lara story in my novel. I bring Francisco in a different life. I kind of bring Francisco life
Mm-hmm.
with a different guy, and then I end Francisco in the way I guess I want also Francisco be in my life, and the way
Oh.
was facted,
Mm-hmm.
but I was bring like a reality, and then it's kind of over. But
Okay.
also I bring Francisco, a different guy, and Laura lives. Was a complicated also, but
Mm-hmm.
through the reading, you're gonna understand why Francisco is also a complicated guy, but he's a good guy.
Oh, love that. Love that. I love the twist though. Having this complicated guy, but deep down he's a good guy. And again, it's up to the readers if ever they want to if they want to know who Francisco is, his story as well, including continuing the story of Lara as well. They really need to grab a copy because again, and by the way, to all of our viewers, that will be adding the link. I will adding a link down in the comment section below for you just to click on it and try to grab a copy for this. But before we move on as well, because this Lara as well is a story that people will be reading throughout your book. So I just want to ask you, Maria, like, what did you find the most challenging or exciting about continuing the story of Alara Alberini?
The most exciting and then was to bring her a way that she can find be powerful, and to
Mm,
tell the truth what happened with her, because it
mm-hmm,
was very kind of sad situation was on the family,
mm-hmm,
but she don't know how to break the silence, and then she took a long time to kind of
mm-hmm,
explain why. Just talk about what happened on the kind of the beautiful moon. You see, she kind of
yeah,
walking. She walking a lot
mm-hmm,
on the beaches, and then share her feelings, and to her to understand what's going on with her, because on the book she hold her, and also okay, back to the book, she talked about silence, and then sometimes the
Okay.
silence is not good. But in her case, the reader gonna understand why she was keeping a silence for kind of short of time,
Nice.
and because she has to be ready, and also
Mhm.
she wants to whatever gonna hear
Mhm.
embrace her, and then that's why she kind of feel like she's not ready, and the
Mhm.
silence is was kind of really part of her life for a couple years until she kind of to understand where she's come from, and then where her family.
Mhm.
And then when she kind of was able to understand all this situation, that was very exciting for me to finish the end of the book. It was very
Mhm.
helpful. It was painful, but
Uh-huh.
enjoyable because there was understanding what's going on with her life. That's not a mean thing is not going to happen, but at least she become a strong lady,
Mhm.
and then was good, very good, very excited to do this part. And the challenging part was bring Francisco, and
Mhm.
also another challenge was kind of understand the story in the past, because when I bring my personal
Okay.
um article, when I did my project, I have to go back, and my own family was live on the slavery time.
Mhm.
Then you bring this theme to the book. That is very kind of powerful, but it's important to understand. And I give
Sure.
it this opportunity for Laura also go back to her seven generation, six generation, and why she can bring to herself, and then how she hope then people understand her. And then
Mhm.
that was the more kind of not a complicated, but it was like was challenge
Mhm.
to
Love that.
bring this part.
Love that, love that. Talking more about the life of Laura as well, and also trying to bring in that taste in life as well. Talking more about silence, breaking silence, the reasons behind reasons, and knowing more about uncovering these stories. And you know what? I don't want to spoil anything because again, I want our readers to make sure that they can read a story, follow it along. And again, but if ever can, Maria, there will be people who'll be picking up your book, seeing your book, trying to read it and see for themselves on the story of Laura as well. Is there anything that you hope that your readers can take away after reading your book?
That is very powerful book, The Beautiful Moon. Gonna bring a very power reading, understand about your everyone has your background family, your ancestors, and then you understand why they come from, who you are.
Mhm.
And then the book, I hope that then people understand Lara's silence, her heartbreak, and then the reader can find their own. The one way to understand what happened with Laura, and
Mhm.
to let her to tell the truth, she gonna find um, a, a, I want to say a better way to live, understand them day by day. And then I hope that I reader also understand her silence,
Mhm.
and then and find a hope.
Love that. Love that. And you know what? Again, thank you much for that, Maria. And again, to all of our viewers and book lovers, again, be sure to grab a copy of Maria Silva's book that is available through Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And also, if you want to get some updates and check it out, then also grab a copy of her book. You can also try to check her website. That's at www.mariaalicesilva.com, which is posted on screen. You can just check that out, visit it later. So, Maria, besides Beautiful Moon, though, are there any events where people can try to check your book out, or are you joining in events in the future where people can look forward to see you?
I went to Chicago doing
Mm,
the book fair in Chicago on September,
yes,
I
September 6 and
believe,
7.
in September 7. I'll
Mhm.
be there to sign not only The Beautiful Moon, that's my novel.
Mhm.
Also, I have more two books,
Mhm.
poetry book, and my thesis. Then for my master program, then I publish. This
Oh,
is related counseling related to more spiritual things, and find yourself. That's a good book too.
Love that. Love that. Okay. And again, to all of our viewers, though, if ever you're going to be visiting in Chicago this September 6th and 7th, feel free to drop by, though. Grab a signed copy from the author itself, Beautiful Moon from Maria Alice Silva-Amey. So again, Maria, just want to say this as we come with the end of today's conversation. I just want to take a moment to say thank you very much for joining us today. It has been a pleasure, and I really love that you are sharing your interest. And I'm looking forward to see you signing copies and providing it to your readers. So again, if you love books and if you want to know more about this book and you want to grab a signed copy, visit us. That's going to be the Chicago's Printers Row Lit Fest. That'll be happening this September 6th and 7th. And Maria, you'll be there on the 7th. Just want to make sure. So people will be there on September 7th to grab a signed copy from you. Okay. So again, to all of our viewers, again, thank you very much for tuning in. And again, always remember that every ending is just a new beginning in the world of stories. May your reading adventures be endless and your imagination boundless. And as we say here at Reader's Magnet, we share your stories with the world. Thank you and have a good one. Thanks, Maria.
Thank you.